So some people have asked, how do you know that the cab is locked in place? So I'm just about to lift the cab up again today. So using the handle as mentioned it before. But what I've done is I just started it, but I just thought what I'd do is take the camera round to the cab. So as you can see, we're possibly just a little bit off the stops now, where it's just started to lift. But what you'll see is if we look inside the cab, we get a warning light. So there's a warning light there, which basically says that the cab is unlocked. So on this vehicle, that's all you get. You just get that illuminated sign there that the cab is unlocked. More modern vehicles now, it's a lot more noticeable than that. There's a loud buzzer and alarms and flashing lights and all sorts of things to say if the cab is unlocked. But for a vehicle of this age, that's all you get. Well, it's really windy today, really windy, as you might be able to hear on the microphone. So today what I'm going to try and do is just work out a way of making sure the vehicle, the cab of the truck, doesn't fall on me when doing any kind of work underneath it. And the only way to really do that is, I mean, it shouldn't do it because it's got the jacked up support, so you can see sort of down there, you can see the jacks. You've got one there and you've got one over the other side as well. I'm trying to keep away from the engine as much as possible because it's running. But you've got the jacks. Now that should stop it from falling back. Also, when you jack it up, it actually goes over centre, so you see it fall forwards. So again, there's no real reason for it to come back on you, but everyone who ever works on any of these vehicles said you should never work underneath it unless it's propped. And by that we mean something in between the body of the vehicle here and the cab itself. So I'm going to measure between here and here, and I'm going to cut a pole to fit into that gap so that we've got a support in there, so hopefully that's going to stop it from doing anything. Okay everyone, and before any of you start saying, oh look at all those sparks, look at all that dry material, it's all going to go on fire, let me just tell you, it's been raining constantly for about the last 5 days. So if you're able to come down here and set fire to that, with that, good on you, okay? It's not going to happen. But now cut this at 165, which is probably going to be, yeah, just a little bit too long, but hopefully what we should be able to do is, because this end is spring loaded, I'm hoping I can pull the spring in and pull it underneath, and now there's absolutely no way that is going to move, and there's no way this cab's going to come down now, so that's held tight. So that, ladies and gents, I've been told I've got to be a little bit more animated. You know, I'm not allowed to just stand around and just point at things. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you put a prop in, or how you make a prop for something that basically doesn't come with one, has never had one, alright, but I now need to have one in order to work on it. It's been 40 years being worked on without a prop in its life and hasn't killed anyone, but now I need to put a prop in. So there we have it. So what I need to do is have a look and find where the oil filters are on this vehicle. I've got a feeling there's 2 on this. I've got a spare one, but obviously I need to get 2 new ones before I do an oil change on it. Now I believe the oil filters are If you saw them, they were underneath. Might be better actually trying to see them. On here. So those two cylindrical objects, they are the oil filters. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to be able to film this part, is I'm just going to give them a clean so that I can actually have a look at what the spec is for the oil filter so that I can get some ordered. Okay, so I've cleaned the oil filters off, which makes them a little bit more visible. And what we can see is that there's a code number on it of 2654407. That's 2654407, which is really fortunate because what I've got here from all the collection of bits and pieces I got the other day when I struck gold is a Perkins oil filter, and the code on it is 2654407. So this is one replacement oil filter. What this means to me is that it means that Perkins are probably still making this part, which is great. I've got a nice new one as a reference, so I can get some more ordered, and then I can do my oil change on it. So happy days.